10 times, people completely snapped, according to Reddit. Number 10. I used to work as a private security guard, and one of the most common assignments was working weddings, which was usually a nice change of pace from the usual work sites. So, I'm at this wedding, and the two Hispanic families are fairly large, and booze are freely flowing. Booze is freely flowing. For the most part, they were loud, but they weren't any trouble. Okay. The rest of the reception goes off without much issue. From me observing the crowd, I see a guy that looked quite discontent at the reception, and I figured he wasn't too social, so I thought it would mostly be uneventful. Well, I was wrong, as when the time came for the best man to give a speech, I saw the guy from earlier come up from his table. He must have been on no older than 23 or so, and he looked determined and angry. The bride looked at this guy as she's quite anxious as to what he'll say, and this guy interrupts the best man by taking the mic. He paused for a moment and wipes his eye. I'm thinking, great, another emotional speech by a drunk guest, but alas, nope. It was far better. It turns out the guy is a really close friend of the bride and professes his love for her, and that the pregnant bride's child is his. Oh, damn. The bride looks mortified, and his emotional speech turns from a drunken profession of love to straight up anger and resentment. He insults the groom and the groom's family, and the father of the bride, the groom's friends are absolutely livid and ready to beat the living hell out of the guy, but I'll have to hand it to the guy. He was smart and had brought his friends, and it looked like the damn Royal Rumble as men are just brawling and chairs are being thrown. The bride is leaving sobbing and her friends and family in tow. It's just a sea of people, and the other family members and a few of my fellow guards could even get there to even attempt to break up the fight. Couldn't even get there. By the time the cops were already there, quite a few people were arrested, and the venue was pretty much trashed. That's pretty awesome. What a shit show. Well, that's what you get when you're dealing with a dirty ass hoe for a wannabe wife with your pregnant ass. Get this other dude fucking you in the fuck butt. You can't let him fuck you in the fuck butt. Continue. Sorry.
I don't I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be made to believe that the friend that ruined the wedding actually did get her knocked up, or he was just lying because he was jealous.
It wouldn't. Of course, there's truth behind it. In the context of this story, the main detail is that the guy says that the woman looks distressed when he's coming up. Right. Okay, so even in the context where you have to question, is the baby really his? For the insinuation of the baby to even belong to somebody else, sex would have to have occurred, which means that she was not loyal to this guy that she's getting married to, which is an issue, which is a big issue. As we move right along. Number 9. My dad was in traffic once and he saw a car break down. The guy, wearing a business suit, casually got out of the car, opened the trunk, and got an aluminum baseball bat. Whoa, are we in Russia? He then proceeded to beat the living shit out of the car, windows, lights, the whole work. Once he was finished, he fished out his briefcase from the now ruined car, ripped off the license plate from the car, then casually and calmly walked to work. What?
That sounds like a Street Fighter minigame to me.
I like that he just took the license plate off. Maybe he was just going to buy another car. Now I'm talking about...
What if he just wanted... No, he
that's
wouldn't
Guile's
take the
name. You don't know. You don't know Guile's name.
insurance.
Nobody appreciates me. I'm so unappreciated in my craft.
I
kill myself sometimes.
You.
Just kidding, guys. Special thanks to Lexaeus for his continuing efforts towards this channel. He's just a god among men. A response here says, car in relatively good shape keeps breaking down. Mechanics keep replacing things, but it still sucks. And the same Phantom Ash issue keeps popping up. Low idle, overheating, stalling out, etc. Finally breaks down again, and the guy has it. He smashes the windows, mirrors, panels, radiator, rips up the seats, pours water into the gas tank, leaves to go to work, calls the cops and says he broke down and had to leave the vehicle on the side of the road, but a tow is coming. Acts surprised that the vehicle was vandalized. Collect insurance. Too long didn't read. Insurance fraud? So I think this guy knew what he was doing. I think the guy with the briefcase in the initial story knew what he was doing.
But why would he take his license plates if he wanted to claim insurance?
Nigga, this guy has a briefcase, Stripes. Okay? He has his life together. You can't just ignore the briefcase. He knows what he's doing. Look at his briefcase. Number 8, out at a bar, when some guy grabbed the ass of a married woman. She didn't say anything, just looked across the bar at her husband, a man about 6'8", at least 280 pounds of pure muscle, like ridiculously big. How the ass grabber remained conscious for the savage beating he received before 5 or 6 people pulled them apart was actually surprising. He landed maybe one hit before he got sent through a table. Grabbing married woman ass. When she married to Mr. Beefy Mountain Speefy Queefy. A response here says, LOL, I like how the wife communicates everything in one look. Come here, Bane. It happened again. Oh my god. Somebody said, I first read Babe. Your way is definitely better. And somebody else said, for you. Come on, man. You're so tired of this stupid shit. Number 7. I worked in this rehab halfway house a few years ago, and this one kid would repeatedly steal other residents' money. Bitch. I basically caught him in the act and confronted him, and he absolutely flipped. He took out his wallet, ripped up all the money, and threw it into my face. That shit ain't your money, bitch. Something changed in that moment, and his face was just pure rage. I noped out of there real quick, and he chased me down the stairs, then outside, where he proceeded to scream at the top of his lungs. Not saying anything, just screaming. Oh, where were camera phones? He eventually walked off, and I didn't see him for hours. The next day, his counselor asked me what happened, and I told her. Then she proceeded to tell me, poor kid, he's just nervous about his court case today. What's the charge, counselor? Assault with a deadly weapon. Oh, damn. Thanks for the heads up. Number 6. Damn, this is a big one. Middle school. Little skinny kid. Strung out all the time and kind of bad in school, but not mentally ill. Just had a shit home life, and it made him look like a druggie from lack of sleep. And I suspect in hindsight, regular meals. Oh, he wasn't fed regularly.
What does strung out mean? I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Well, usually it can have drug connotations to imply that you are just not like there or energetic, but it doesn't need to be specifically applied to drugs. Especially in this context, it could imply that he's just not lively, he's not alert, he's not awake, maybe from lack of sleep, maybe from lack of meals, just like the guy is saying. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Strung out, like, he's just not, but he didn't roll out of bed like, yeah, let's tackle the day. It looks like this is a kid who has not slept in maybe a week, and even worse, has not been adequately fed, so he doesn't have the energy for any of this shit.
Okay.
Like a mom. A mom is typically always strung out with her dirty ass monkey balling. There was a little group of middle schoolers that picked up this guy all the time. Picked on this guy. Come on, Kyle. Spread rumors about his family behind his back. Sorry, I almost read being black. Accidentally bumped shoulders with him in the hallway to make his book scatter. Accidentally. Spilling drinks during lunch to get on his clothes, and countless other things to inconvenience this kid and humiliate him. I can't remember if they had a reason, and people reported them to teachers a couple of times, but they always insisted it was accidental, and the kid just had bad luck. Oh boy. They got detention at worst. Most evidence was circumstantial. The skinny kid didn't act out towards them. He didn't defend himself. He just kept his head down and trotted on. One day, his locker was a few doors down from mine. He had dropped a pencil. I happened to pick it up and give it back to him. He gave me a smile and tucked it into his pocket. He thought to himself, you will be spared when I kill them all. I'm just kidding. Watch this, he said, in that quick, barely there voice of his. The little assholes were coming back down the hallway. I'd seen it happen enough that I could already tell they were aiming for a body check. Something about the way they focused on him while they walked and kind of drifted sideways to be in the center of the hall instead of on the other side or the other. He had his books in one hand and the other hand in his pocket, and he started walking down the hallway towards the group. Do you think he has like poison on something, on like the tip of something? That'd be so legit.
Some kind of blade.
That'd be so legit. Right as the ringleader pushed to the side to shoulder check him, he whipped his hand up and lunged into the other guy. The pencil stabbed right into the other guy's shoulder, pushed by the momentum of both of their bodies. Bully dropped like a rock, shrieking, pencil sticking out of his shoulder, just under his collarbone. I remember thinking it was unlucky he had decided to wear such a wide collar. The pencil missed cloth entirely. I was also thinking, holy shit, I'm so glad I was nice to him just now. You're damn right. Somebody said Skinny Kid just kept walking down the hall. Skinny Kid was expelled. After that day, I never saw him again. We weren't really friends, but I hope his life turned out okay. It's funny because bullies, you know, they get away with it. And when people retaliate, they get in trouble. Somebody responds, why is bullies did shit to a kid for months to end with little to no punishment? Victims retaliates and gets expelled. Ridiculous punishment. Such a common narrative to these situations. It's so infuriating. Somebody else responds, Mom calls them Teflons because you can't make anything stick on them. Oh, God. Number 5, guys. Mini list, y'all. Back in middle school, I remember there was this kid who got bullied, and one day he punched the bully. They both went down and started wailing on each other. The kid got his ass kicked, but he didn't get bullied again after that day. That's cool. Somebody else responds to this. High school sophomore year. I had a really bad day. Had a bad day. I just got out of gym and saw that someone had jacked my clothes out of my locker, ripping the lock off in the process and rendering it useless. Tossed them in the urinal and pissed all over them. Oh shit, son, you got enemies? That's not bullying, nigga. Like, what the? That's some animal shit. What? You weren't listening?
No, I was. Like, what do you do to get on someone so pissed on you like that?
Pissed on your clothes. You know what I'm talking about? Literally. Coach had a damn good idea of who it was, but the kid was the captain of the soccer team. Soccer. Oh,
it's like having diplomatic immunity at your school.
And his family were major donors to the school district, so he was effectively untouchable. Same guy got on me again at lunch. This part was a regular occurrence, asking me why I was still in my gym clothes with the sarcastic ass tone that drips, I did it, and then knocked my lunch all over the floor. I snapped, and the last thing I remember was getting up, and the next thing I know, there's busted glass all over the floor around him. According to the school, I hadn't beat him up, but I grabbed him by the collar and throwed him hard enough to get him through a double pane glass door 5 feet away. Keep in mind, I was no bodybuilder. I weighed maybe 150 pounds, I was 5'7", and did almost no exercise. Got off pretty light though, a week of alternative school, which was literally me coming in and doing my homework assignments at night. Somebody said, take it easy there, Spider-Man. Oh my God.
Dude, how long has it been since you've seen the first Spider-Man movie?
Fuck that old Tobey Maguire ass shit.
I want to see it again.
You just made my computer freeze for a couple of seconds, and I'm blaming it squarely on you. Because it's only Skype that loses its mind with the CPU. It's just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm Skype. Fuck this computer. Pissing on my computer is what Skype's doing. Number 4. I worked at a Mexican grill years ago. You hear the way I delivered that? I worked at a Mexican grill years ago. You like that delivery better?
You could go again.
In a world so seriously, suck my ass. I worked at a Mexican grill years ago. Yeah, that's the one. Years ago. The old quiet dude who always kept to himself, but was basically pleasant, just lost it one day. He was chopping chicken to put on the line when one of the line employees called out, 86 chicken.
They don't have to be Mexican.
86 chickens. How do you say 86 in Spanish?
I actually don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Ochenta.
87.
Seis. You say seis, not
Wait.
siete.
Wait.
Siete is 7.
86? Wait, 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're right. 86. Pollo. Pollo, baby. And this guy loses it. 86 chicken? I'm already fucking making chicken. This is the best one for me. He throws the chopping knife sideways at the wall, and the tip of it sticks. He pulls it out and throws it again towards the line, narrowly missing an employee. The knife lands in the barbecue, splattering juices all over. Then he calmly took off his gloves and apron and left. Somebody said, having worked in that setting, I understand. 86 chicken? Oh my god. Number 3, guys. So I worked with an ER doctor, emergency room doctor with chronic back pain. The doctor has chronic back pain? He managed to get to the hospital to buy him a special chair. Oh, he managed to get the hospital to buy him a special chair for his back. Well, he had the cops show up because a PT walked in and wanted to report an assault. The doctor was in the PT room, and when he came out, a cop was sitting in his chair. The doctor asked the cop to get out of the chair, explaining it was his special back chair, and the cop replies he was a cop and would sit anywhere he wants, and that the doctor would just have to deal with it. The doctor got this wild look in his eyes and cocked back and punched the cop square in the jaw. Suddenly, all the cops jumped on him. He got felony charges, talked down to a misdemeanor, but he still spent some time in jail and lost his job.
Was the cop there for a checkup? Or what?
What a fucking... Much like every fucking power-tripping cop. What a cunt. I'm a cop and I'll sit wherever I want to. Yeah, like the world bends over for you, dude. That's what being a cop means. Some of these cops need a bullet in the brain, nigga. That's all I'm saying. What I'm talking about. With your dirty cop ass. I'm kidding. Number 2. Am I kidding? I had a coworker get up from her desk, throw her keyboard against the wall, and go sit in the corner and start bawling uncontrollably. The reason? All of the data in her payroll program had been deleted. What actually happened was that she opened the wrong program. Everything was just fine in the correct program. Being a woman is hard. Opening the wrong programs. Maybe we can fix it by crawling into the corner and crying. Sorry. Number 1. I bet everybody's glad this list is ending now. Back in high school, this one really annoying guy would come up and talk to people long enough to subtly steal their milk. How many times does that happen before you realize this guy's gonna steal my milk? Twice?
Why does he want your milk so bad?
He must want the strongest bones in the school, Stripes. One day, he happened to pick the kid who was having a terrible day. He grabbed the kid's milk and started to open it, and the kid told him that if he opened it, he was going to break the lunch tray over his head. So of course he opened it, and he had a lunch tray broken over his head. The guy stopped stealing milk after that. What are you gonna do, stab me? Man who was him stabbed him. Oh boy. So there's that, you know. Hope everybody's having a great day. Sorry for the nature of the, random quick list. But the bottom line is, I didn't even have time to record. And the conditions for recording are also ass as well. So, just give me time. Bill Nye Saves the World? There's gonna be a new Bill Nye fucking show on Netflix. That's cute.
Oh, that's great. What does he do in it?
I don't know. We can't watch it on the video, but everybody go watch that. Let's see from the comments what's going on. The top comment reads, I don't know. The trailer seemed really focused on comedy and celebrities. I was hoping for a more science-focused show, like Cosmos. Oh man, I'm bummed already.
But, like, so is he gonna be Pee Wee Herman then?
Can you imagine if instead of bringing back Bill Nye the Science Guy and educating some motherfuckers, what made us all love him, they put Bill Nye in a show where he's just like walking the world talking to other people and, waka waka, it's Bill Nye, here he comes, jiggling down the lane. And Kardashian shows up and she's all like, oh, Bill Nye, you so crazy. I don't know what she sounds like. I don't care. I really wish Reddit would calm down with the Donald Trump shit. Not because, it doesn't deserve attention, but it's just like they're trying so hard to be like anti-Trump, like fuck Trump. And that's what the media is like. You know what I mean? You should feel like a bitch when you're just jumping on the bandwagon like that. You know what it's like? They try to portray him as like a dude that like is fun to hate or something. But at the same time, I don't know, you're feeding into that. In the same way that like people want to hate Bieber, people want to hate Kanye or Kim. Like, y'all are the ones talking about these bitches. You know what I mean? Their names are coming out of your mouth. So
I get it.
I don't know. I'm over it. But yeah, expect a real list later, guys. It's just I don't have time. I gotta go out and do more bullshit. Yesterday was a terrible day as well. I hope today I'll be able to stream towards the end. I'll try to stream towards the end. It'll probably be a confession podcast as well. So if you're around come like 9:30 tonight Eastern Standard Time, I will be able to hit up another confession podcast. What do you think the topic should be? Let me know in the comment section, or don't comment anything and just make it seem like, they're bots watching my videos.
I thought you were asking me.
Why would I ask you anything? What do you think the topic should be, Stripes?
I think it should be...
Gold.
Actually,
Goldfish.
no, not everyone goes swimming, so that'd be a bad topic.
You think it should be swimming? Where's the last place you went swimming? That's the video, Stripes. Oh my God.